morning. It's good to ride 2 days in a row. Very good. The legs might be feeling a little different today. Good to tune into that. Just because we rode yesterday, and so they probably feel different. So let's get ourselves all set up on our bike. Let's get nice light resistance. Just turn the legs very slowly. And allow our hips and knees and ankles and muscles just start to get a little bit of movement into them. Down to our handlebars and quickly tune into our posture on the bike, allowing the belly to relax so we can breathe. As you know, I sometimes put my hand on the belly just to remind myself to let it relax. Let's bring in a small amount of resistance, very small, very small. Just keep our leg speed around 80 RPM. As we do that, check with your elbows and shoulders. Make sure they're relaxed and away from the ears. Just noticing the sensations of the hands on the bars. Feeling the pressure in the arms and the triceps mostly, but that's inevitable. You can't avoid that. We have some weight on the arms. So that's a legitimate thing to tune into, your triceps holding you. If we lock the arms, then it's the shoulders taking the force. But if we have the elbows slightly bent, then it's the triceps. Bring our leg speed or cadence up a little bit now. Into the mid-80s. Still very light resistance. Breathing deeply from the belly. Feeling the smoothness of the pedal stroke. Keeping the hips nice and stable on the saddle, and the warm-up coming into the legs now. Maybe your breath is just very slightly elevated. Let's bring our leg speed up a little bit more now. Remember, we're very light resistance at this moment. Just working some fluidity and suppleness into the legs and the muscles. Now a little bit more pedal speed. Still very light, but let's come up to 100 now and see how smooth we can be at 100 RPM. If you'd like, you can watch me. You should see a relatively relaxed and stable upper body. You should notice that my hips are staying very planted on the saddle. No real discomfort in the muscles of the legs right now. We're just at extreme light. Just bringing some warmth. Play a little bit with your body weight distribution. You can shift it. It's almost unconscious, but you can shift weight from the saddle to the handlebars. Feel its effects on your hips, your upper body, your stability. All right, slow your legs down, back to around 90. I'm gonna sit up, shake my arms out. My triceps always get tired in the early part of riding. You'd think they'd be used to it by now. I can feel the breath coming up. Perfect. All right, coming back to our handlebars, we're on flat road. Do your scan, check your body posture. Let's bring in a little resistance now. And we're going to bring ourselves into the lowest levels of exercise where we feel those muscles engaging. Just the slightest hint of challenge in the muscles. That will result in your heart rate coming up a little bit, your breathing picking up a little bit. Nothing too serious right now, but I do feel like I'm exercising. This morning, I'm just noticing in my legs where I feel this right now. And I'm feeling right here in this, it's hard to see, here, right here. The inner part of the knee where that muscle attaches. There's a little bump there. That's where I'm feeling it this morning. Normally I don't feel it so much there. Just noticing. Feel your breath picking up a little bit now. Let's start to think about transitioning into some harder work. Now we have the legs warmed up a little bit and the heart rate up a little bit. Allow your legs now to find this rhythm. I have my left leg coming down on that little shaker sound. Bring in some more resistance now. This is slightly higher exercise level now. A little bit more discomfort in the muscles now. I'm feeling this. I feel like we're in a moderate exercise level now. Not hard or super hard. See if you can just breathe. Be aware of your upper body posture. And keep your legs on this rhythm. So let's talk about time to exhaustion. Right now, I feel like I could hold this 20 minutes or so. I can feel the heat building. I can feel sweat starting to happen. I can feel my heart rate coming up. So I'm definitely in challenging zone right now. But I know I could hold this for 20 minutes. Well, 15. It's just what came to my mind. But it's that act of tuning in. Noticing how your legs are feeling. Noticing what your breath and your heart rate are doing. That's how I like to communicate what our efforts are. How it feels. All right, let's speed up, bring it up into the mid-90s to 100 RPM. Let's keep the hips very stable and steady on the saddle. Scrape that mud through the bottom of the pedal stroke. That'll help you keep stable hips on the saddle because you won't be stabbing at the pedals. You'll be stitching together. Bring your resistance way down low and sit up again, slowing the legs. Just a little bit of sweat. I just paid attention to my breathing there. It was about 4 to 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Out of breathness. Yeah, my legs definitely feel different today, riding 2 days in a row. It's good. It's kind of like they remember yesterday. They remember that they're good and strong. All right, let's come back to our handlebars. Find your rhythm. Match it to the song. For some reason I'm having a hard time getting my legs aligned to the rhythm, and then I'm trying to understand what the rhythm is doing. That makes it confusing for me. But this is about it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So there's about a minute left in this song. Let's bring in a resistance at this pedal speed. We would find it hard to finish the 1 minute. We can, but it would be a real challenge. You ready? In 2 and 1. Bring that resistance in. Hard to finish this song. About 1 minute to go. The legs should be quite uncomfortable right now. We're almost there. Bring it down to light resistance. More sweat. Higher breathing. That felt good. I like that feeling of having strength in the legs and smoothly, powerfully driving the pedals around in that circle. I love that feeling. Align your legs to this rhythm, bring in heavy resistance. Let's put ourselves into a bit of a climb now. This rhythm's easier to find. Now, when we're in a climb, I've said this before and it's good to remember, we absolutely feel the hips. When the legs are quite bent like this, we feel the hips and the glutes shoving. For an outdoor cyclist, it's important to get those hips involved because it takes some pressure off the quads in a climb, but of course it just gives you more power using all the muscles available to us. You ready to stand? We're going to ease on extra heavy resistance and then stand to drive that, keeping the hands relatively light, getting the hips out over the pedals in 3, in 2, and 1. Crank it and stand into it. Drive that weight through the glutes. Keep breathing through this. In 3, and 2, and 1. Let's come back to seated climbing. Just a little bit to go now. Beautiful. Come back to light resistance. Back to flat road. And now we're just spinning the legs. Feel free to grab a little water now. You may be noticing now your legs are a little more tired because we've ridden 2 days in a row now. That's fine. Totally normal. It's good. Mine aren't. I used to tie my shirt when I was a high schooler and a college student. I used to tie it into a knot like this. You know how they used to do in the 70s? Well, women did it. Tie the shirt up into a knot here. I did it because I liked it. Let's come back to flat road. Let's get our leg speed to 85 or 90 RPM. Add some resistance if you need to. I want it to feel like we're on a flat road now. Working. We're in exercise, and you know, you and I together riding, pushing ourselves a little bit now. This is totally making my heart rate and breathing pick up, but I could hold it, you know. How long could I hold this? Well, my legs feel very different than they did at the beginning. Taking that into account, I think 15 minutes. That's the ballpark. We won't hold it that long, but that's how it feels. Let's now close the eyes if it's comfortable for you. If not, keep your eyes open and just look out at something 10 to 15 feet away. But let's release any tension that's built up in the shoulders. Let's make sure our elbows are slightly bent. Let's pay attention to what the hands are doing on the handlebars. Maybe wiggle your fingers. Now bring your leg speed up. You should be able to do that. If you find it hard to come up to 100 RPM, just take some resistance out. 100 RPM right now. Hips steady, upper body calm. Maybe practice your champagne. And once again, slow your legs and reduce your resistance. Drink a little water. While you're sitting up drinking your water with light resistance, align your legs to the rhythm of this song. Think about all the different processes in the brain that are engaged. And simply hearing the music, processing it, and outputting it to the legs, and then feeling the legs, feeding that back to the brain to make any adjustments in pedal speed. There's a whole bunch going on, so our brains are very active right now. Okay, you got the rhythm? Steep, intense, relatively short climb. Let's bring in resistance so we're really in a steep hill. Climbing in the seated position, hands to the middle of the bars to get the chest a little bit more upright and help us push through the hips. So I am struggling with this rhythm right now. And you can see it in my upper body and hips, right? You see that torque that's going through my hips? And this is what it looks like to be seated climbing a steep hill. You notice I'm not stiff like this. This is all quads. It's more like this. Let's get in the hips and lower back into it. Okay, let's stand for just about 5 seconds. In 3, in 2, in 1. Crank it just about 5 seconds, maybe 5 pedal strokes. Now back to seated climb, legs hurt. And we're going to finish this hill with one more standing in 3, in 2, and 1. One more time. Out of the saddle. And dial it back. That last standing, I pushed it quite hard, as you can hear in my breathing. So I have light resistance. I'm pedaling softly right now, allowing my heart rate to recover a little bit. Since I don't have a heart rate monitor on, monitoring my breathing. Remember, your rate of breathing is absolutely correlated with your heart rate. So over time you can simply know your general heart rate just based on your breathing. If you don't know your maximum heart rate, it doesn't matter, because then you can just say, how out of breath am I, as a way of determining how close to your maximum heart rate you are. Don't even need to know the numbers. But once you know the numbers, then you can start to put a number on it based on your breathing and your knowledge. All right, I'm going to put a little resistance on. I'm going to get my legs to about 75 to 80 RPM. So I've shifted now out of active recovery and back into a low level of work, just 75, 80 RPM, moderate resistance. This I could hold 20, 25 minutes, maybe more. But what I'm noticing is that my heart rate has stopped slowing down. My sweat has begun again. And I feel a little work in the legs right now. Just a little bit. And this is good for us. This is letting the legs recover from a hard effort while still having a little bit of work in them. So we start to build that capacity. I was really inspired the other day that guy set a new world record for the marathon. I think it was 2:01, I think. I'm not positive. I think it was 2 hours, 1 minute. But I don't care about the time. What I care about is in entire human history, that is likely the fastest anyone's ever run that. I mean, highly likely. We don't know before the dawn of track meets and timing and marathons. Maybe somebody was running that fast for that long. But I think it's doubtful, right? People weren't training for running, they were just running. This person put all the science to work to train for this, so I think it's fascinating that that is fastest anybody's ever run that distance. No human likely has ever done that. It's amazing. Let's bring our leg speed up to 90 RPM now. We can visualize being on a flat road together. It's very quiet. There are no cars. There are stoplights, there are stop signs, there are even dogs. Just complete silence moving along this road. The goal here is to just become one with the bike. As best we can, sensing this visualization around us, the smell, the sights, the feel of the road underneath the bike, which comes up through the tires and the wheels and the fork and the frame, and we feel the road beneath us. Noticing if our breath is picking up. Notice if our belly has become constricted, and if so, just letting it release again. Let's visualize ourselves riding along this flat road, holding a certain speed, with this pedal speed, with this cadence and this gear. And holding the same pedal speed, we're going to shift on our bikes, click, one gear harder. Which of course will make us go just a couple miles an hour faster on the bikes, which brings in more wind speed, which is much more difficult. So let's click, add one gear. There, that's one gear. Because we're holding the same cadence and just increase the gear, we're moving more quickly along this flat road now. Our muscles are doing more work in the legs, so we feel that. So let's think about time to exhaustion now. I'm in probably the 8 to 9 minute range. Maybe not even that much. More than 4, more than 5. 6, 7. Pushing it a little bit. My mind says maybe 8 to 9 minutes. So I have significant challenge in the muscles. Because my quads and that inner part inside the knee is starting to get a little tired, I'm focusing a little bit more on the scraping motion through the bottom. When I'm feeling the hamstrings contract as we pull through. Hips are still working as well. See if you can put your mind to those. Let's bring our resistance down to light. Observe your breathing. See where it's at right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, I say mine got to about 8. In terms of absolute numbers, for me, that means my heart rate was around 160. I think my maximum's about 185, somewhere in there. Actually, I haven't measured my maximum heart rate in quite a while. Let's do one more hard effort, shall we? And then we'll cool down. Let's do one 20-second all-out sprint. Let's just remind ourselves that a sprint is 100 to 110 RPM with a resistance so heavy that it feels like 100% effort, and you could not hold it longer than 40-45 seconds. That's the feeling. Cadence is an objective number, but the feeling is subjective. So we'll all have different levels of resistance for that, but it will feel like an all-out effort. If you want and you have a power meter, go ahead and look at that. This will be your maximum power for the class. Kind of fun to see those. Okay, onto the handlebars. Let's quickly notice our position and make sure that we're settled beautifully onto the bike without any tension in the upper body. A 20-second sprint at 100 or a little above RPM. In 3, 2, and 1. Accelerate your legs, get the resistance in. Make sure you can do this 20 seconds. Adjust your resistance properly. And bring it down to light resistance. Ow. Quite uncomfortable. You always notice after a sprint like that, short, really intense, that your breathing and your heart rate actually continue to increase after you're done with the sprint. So there's a little lag in the response to the onset of the sprint. And then it stays up for a few seconds after the sprint. And then your muscles say, I'm no longer working super hard. And then you're breathing and your heart rate slow down. So we're cooling down now. Light resistance, just turning the legs. Sitting up nice and tall. Our only goal at this moment is to allow the heart rate to slow down in the breathing and to let the legs start to feel better. Paying attention to both of those, not letting the mind wander off, but paying attention to the breathing slowing, the legs recovering. There's an actual subjective feeling in the muscle that changes. Pay attention to that. Number on your breathing now, 1 to 10, 1 being you just woke up, 10 being so out of breath you can't speak. I'm at 1 right now. And my legs feel like they've recovered, so I'm going to slow them down a little bit. Until they come to a stop. And I like to use this 10 or 15 seconds after my legs have stopped as a portal to tuning into my body, how it feels, tuning into my mindset. I like to notice that sense of calm. Sense of accomplishment. Oh, it feels good to stand up. Let's stand up and put our feet at 3 and 9 o'clock. Oh, those calves really need a stretch. This reminds me of a police song, those drums. Walking on the moon, I think? I'm not sure. Let's rotate the back foot to the front. Just stretching the calves. Breathing as we go. Stepping off the bike now. Hold on to the handlebars of the seat just in case you're a little dizzy. Let's pull back on one of the ankles. I've got my left ankle here and I'm just stretching the quadricep now. And now, let's pull back again on the other leg. Beautiful, our legs did great 2 days in a row. To the hamstrings. Oh, 2 days in a row here, stretching too, that's good. It's rare for me. I never stretch on my own. I know I should. But I don't, and I do not know why. This feels good. other leg. Beautiful. Well done. Thanks for being here. Enjoyed it. Have a great trip. Can't wait to hear all about it. Take the next minute or two, as usual, and stretch, come back to center, drink your water. Have a really good, safe trip.